Yes, guys, welcome to episode 8 or 7 of Football Roundup, as we have more amazing football action this week, 3 leagues to go over, plus the FA Cup, maybe. But to be fair, I don't even have the FA Cup up on the iPad where I look at the results, but I can get it up as well, if we did. We had 6 awesome A-League games to go through. We have some Serie A to go through. We have some Premier League to go through. So without further ado, let's get right into it. We'll start off with the A-League like we always do. As we start off the weekend with a 0-0 draw in between MacArthur and Melbourne victory. That was a pretty dead rubber game. No one really looked like scoring at the end of the day. If I were to say who would be most likely to score, it would probably be MacArthur. They were better on the day. They just couldn't take their chances. Melbourne victory, again, showing their liability, showing their weakness, showing the lack of desire. And it looks really unlikely they're going to qualify for playoffs this season. Perth Glory gets another win, 3 wins in a row, 1-0 win over Perth Glory with Potowski. Sorry for that. Getting the only goal with Osler getting sent off in the 40th minute. Western Sydney Wanderers getting bullied. They got destroyed. They got dominated. Perth Glory, fair play to you. You were fantastic on the day. We then go into Saturday with a 3-1 win for Auckland against Wellington Phoenix. If you did watch my A-League preview, you would know I went for with a Wellington Phoenix win. I am so sorry for offending Auckland fans. I got quite a few Auckland fans. But I also have 1 or 2 Wellington Phoenix fans who I'm quite chill with. I'm sorry for the offensive phase of a Wellington Phoenix win. That was never going to happen. I just thought it could. With Brooke, DeVries and May getting on the score sheet for Auckland. With Ruffer getting one back for Wellington Phoenix. James getting sent off for Wellington Phoenix in the 46th minute. We then had a Melbourne City 1-0 win. Rahmani, he is so decent. Pretty good actually. Gets the only goal on the day. 27th minute, they held that lead out for the whole entire game. Newcastle Jets struggling even after the Hans Australia Cup win. That cup win is pointless for me. It just means nothing now because, they can't even take any sort of momentum from it. Sydney beat Central Coast Mariners 2-1. Toure and Campuzano. Campuzano with a lovely header. Really well guided to make it 2-1. Toure, I've always rated in terms of A-League strikers. I do think he'll get a European move as well at some point within the near future. And then the Sunday game, Brisbane Roar won 1-0 against Adelaide United. I wasn't awake for it. In fact, I slept too much today, so I missed the game. But Long did get Brisbane Roar the win. And when we look at the table, not the rugby union, lads. Thank you very much. When we look at the table, Sydney FC, Brisbane Roar currently hold the top 2 with Auckland in 3rd, Melbourne City 4th, Perth Glory in 5th. I made a joke out of them during pre-season saying, one thing what is guaranteed this season is that we'll get 15 points. So many goals conceded, barely any scored. They'll be bottom of the league. I'm so sorry No, I am terribly sorry for absolutely underestimating you. The last 2 seasons were horrendous. This season, you're actually doing something. I'm so sorry. To any Perth Glory fans, I am sorry. I will start rating you now. I'm sorry, okay? Put down the pitchforks. Put them down. I'm sorry. I'm actually sorry. Adelaide United take in 6th, Wellington Phoenix 7th, and bottom of the league is Melbourne Victory with Newcastle Jets above them in 11th. Now let's move on to the Premier League sector, as I actually have spent nearly 4 minutes on this one league, but I love the league too much. When it comes to Premier League, this match week, we had Villa beating Arsenal 2-1. We had Bournemouth draw 0-0 against Chelsea, the worst game of the weekend. Everton absolutely cruising past Forest 3-0. Man City's absolutely cruising past Sunderland 3-0. Newcastle beating a 10-man Burnley side 2-1. Tottenham beating Brentford 2-0. And then before Salah's statement, which I actually won't talk about in another video, or this one, just depends if I want to make this one slightly longer. That finished up 3-3 in between Leeds and Liverpool. Today, we had Brighton draw 1-1 against West Ham. Crystal Palace win 2-1 against Fulham. I am filming this before Wolves versus Man United because I will be out tomorrow. I will not have enough time to film 2 videos, get them uploaded. So tomorrow you're only getting your Chelsea Atalanta preview, as game is on Tuesday. I want to talk about Aston Villa real quick. Aston Villa deserved the win. They piled so much pressure. I thought Lee Watkins was one of the more underrated in that game in terms of performances. He wasn't awful, like some Villa fans are making him out to be. I thought the way they won that game, the amount what was happening in the box was absolutely mental. Landed to Buendia's feet and managed to put it home. Arsenal, by the way, I did say this. Gyökeres will not win you the league. Mourinho won't win you the league. Gyökeres, yes, he's been injured, but even before he got injured, a lot of this goes to luck, not skill, not good positioning, and he's not a good player. Mourinho is not a proper striker. He's not a full-on striker. He is a midfielder. He did play centre-back. He's not a striker. So you're relying on a midfielder to play up front. It won't last long. Your downfall will start because you don't have a proper striker. You don't have a striker who can get you 20, 25 goals a season. And I said this on Twitter. I'll say this now. Gyökeres, in the Portuguese league, he was always going to score so many goals. Because the Portuguese league, for the most part, is on the same level as the Championship. Not hearing anything else. The only good teams in that league is Porto, Benfica, and debatably Braga and Sporting Lisbon. And fun fact, I don't even think he scored a single goal against Porto, a single goal against Benfica, and a single goal against Braga. Wow. What a league, guys. What a league. One of the worst leagues in Europe's top 10. Supposedly top 10. But I don't even see it as top 10. Gyökeres won't win you the league. And when it comes to defence, I don't want to hear it. Arsenal fans were crying, and we saw them cry after the game, saying, bro, Saliba, Gabriel is out. Oh my gosh, what are we going to do? But you also said before the season started, we're coming for Chelsea's 15 conceded record. We have the best depth in the league, best centre-back depth, world-class depth. What a joke, by the way. Funny joke. I laughed. Leeds United, Liverpool now. Leeds coming back from 2-0 down to make it 2-2. Liverpool then made it 3-2. Leeds then made it 3-3. Tanaka! That guy, by the way, Tanaka. He did the ice cold celebration. And probably one of the most underrated players in this league. I'm not joking, he's actually amazing. He scores so many bangers. I wouldn't mind if Chelsea went in for him, but I preferably want to stay away, please. But yeah, Mo Salah did come out after the game saying he's disappointed that he's benched for 3 games in a row, and he feels like some of the promises what got made by the club isn't being met. Basically he came out trashing his relationship with Arne Slot, trashing the club. You can't do that publicly. Sure, you may have feelings, but don't go out on live television and absolutely tear down the club. If you are unhappy, you can leave in January. If you are happy, then stay. And maybe realize you're being benched for poor performances. And if there is no communication by this, not fair. But don't come out and say, I have no relation with the coach. Brighton might be my last game. And then a brief comes out today or a news report saying he will not submit a transfer request because he wants his loyalty bonuses. So I don't know what's going to happen, but personally I think Salah is a bit of an idiot here. Yet again, Slot maybe should have communicated it with him if that is true. Yeah, I have really nothing else to say on that. I thought Brighton today showed real fight after being 1-0 down. With that equaliser at the end by Ruta, I rate Ruta so highly. Crystal Palace were really good today against Fulham. Crystal Palace going 1-0 up through Nketiah. Fulham then equalising through Harry Wilson. The toe poke was absolutely insanely good. And then Crystal Palace winning it in the end. I got to say, Palace are impressing me. They now go above Chelsea in the table, but they are impressing me. Now let's move on to Serie A. Actually, before I do, we'll look at the table first. So, after 15 games this season, as the table is not showing, so we'll move on to Serie A. So, and I do have the table up for Serie A as well. So to start off the weekend, we had Sassuolo getting a 3-1 win over heavily struggling Fiorentina. They currently sit bottom with 6 points after 14 games, minus 13 goal difference. We had Inter Milan getting a 4-0 win over Como. That now puts Inter Milan second. Como now drops to 6th, 1 point ahead of Juventus, who lost today. Verona won 3-1 against Atalanta. Atalanta play Chelsea next in the Champions League. That leaves Verona in 19th. That puts Atalanta in 12th. So Atalanta is struggling a bit along with Hellas Verona. Today, we had Cremonese, who's actually doing quite well for themselves in Serie A, currently sitting 9th for 20 points, beating out Lecce 2-0. Lecce is sitting 15th with 13 points. Cagliari getting a 1-0 win over high-flying Roma. Cagliari is currently 14th with Roma sitting in 4th. Lazio getting a 1-0 draw against Bologna. Lazio is currently sitting 10th. Bologna is sitting 5th. And then finally, Napoli getting a 2-1 win against Juventus. Napoli now goes top. Juventus sitting in 7th. Tomorrow there are 3 games being played. Pisa versus Parma. Udinese versus Genoa. And Torino versus AC Milan. And next game week, I'm interested. Bologna v Juventus is BTNT Sports showing at 7:45. But yeah, I thought I would just not really speed it up, but I want to include more in a quick amount of time. So sorry if I spoke a bit too quick. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I don't know. And sorry if the camera just went a bit slow with my movement. I don't know why. That's first time it's happened in a while. Thank you guys so much for watching. Tomorrow you are going to be getting a vlog on New Touch Life, my first proper vlog since the Bible video. And I'm proud to announce you're going to be getting a video here. Your Chelsea Atalanta preview with your review being out on Tuesday. You'll be getting your Chelsea versus Everton preview on Friday. And obviously everything what you get football roundup as well next week. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and I'll see you guys in the next one. And peace!